Welcome to the podcast, Wake Up Humans with Steve Judson.
Hello, this is Dr. Steven Judson, and you're listening to the Wake Up Human podcast, where it's our mission to wake people up from within and help them to find their purpose and passion in life, to help them discover who they were meant to be as a human being, and to help them find complete passion and abundance in their own personal world. What an amazing thing it would be if more people woke up every freaking day fired up to turn the crank, hang out with their friends, go to work, serve the masses, and do what they need to do, and doing it with pure passion. And once we discover that purpose as a human being, we begin to unlock our innate potential, or even better, get connected to it that's inside of us every single day. And we follow certain principles. I just got off the phone with a young doctor who was asking me about a morning routine, and I just shared with him my morning today. Got up early, went for a mile swim. You know, I kill it with the swim because it's kind of like my meditation. It stretches me out. It's cardio. It's fat burning. It gets me a little pumped. Makes me feel good. My head's underwater and no one could talk to me, so it's kind of cool. I find my peace. So I'm killing like 6 birds with one stone, no harm to birds. But the basic premise is, what's it going to do for you? Now, my whole life I've been doing different workouts and things, and I had to find something that worked for me that helped me find some peace, because my work is a grind. We're constantly pumping it. We're on our feet all day. It's high energy. It's dealing with hundreds of people a day with all kinds of issues and problems. So I had to find a place where I could get clarity in my own brain to help myself just find some relaxation, but also connection. A place that I could just be quiet and listen to what we call the voice within. And it's one of the biggest things we teach our patients, and we also teach other doctors, is to listen to that voice within. And how do we connect? How do we connect to that? You know, whether it's getting up every morning and listening to pastors preach, to reading the Bible, to listening to music that resonates with you, to sitting down. We teach people how to do what's called the 49 breaths, which is a breathing exercise, or just jumping in a pool and swimming, or it could be going to the gym and pumping some iron and heavy weight, or a spin class. Whatever it is for you, you got to find your thing that resonates with you. Now, we always say all this comes easier when you're living clear. And one of the biggest things we talk about in our book, Wake Up Humans, is what does it mean to live clear? Because if you're going to be pumping it out and working hard in the grind, you got to have a nervous system, brain, body that are functioning to its fullest potential, that is completely connected. And one of the things we'll be doing down the road is connecting you with people all over the world who are living at this level, and what does it mean to them, and how are they perpetuating in their life, their family's life, with their patients, if they're doctors, and how that resonates in their world. But for you right now, it's finding one thing you could do daily that just helps you connect. Whether you want to call it God, the source, the intelligence, help you connect to a voice that's just going to, it's going to talk to you, man. It's going to connect you and give you ideas and help you think. Napoleon Hill used to talk about sitting in silence, sitting in quiet and listening. A lot of times people want to pray and they're asking for stuff, instead of just putting it out there and saying, what do you want me to do? What is my role? What am I supposed to be doing? And you just listen. And as I tell everybody, keep a yellow legal pad next to you, because the longer you do this, things will drop in. It's like they come out of the sky into your soul, and these answers that come in, if you act on them, amazing things will happen. So when you get quiet, for me right now, it's jumping in a pool. There's mornings I get up and I do my breathing exercises and I quote unquote meditate. People hear that word meditate and they freak out. They feel like they got to be Gandhi, fasting for 90 days and living in a robe and barefoot. You don't have to. You can literally sit in your office and do 10 deep breaths and just get silent and do a meditation for 2 minutes. That'll just connect you for the rest of your day. These are things we could talk about if you want to. But I know it's people that I surround myself with who are crushing it in life. This is how we talk. This is things they're doing every day. These are things that they're doing to keep themselves and their energy up. Because everyone's looking to avoid stress. You're never going to avoid stress. It's always going to be there. It's always coming at you. It's how we deal with it and how our body adapts to it. How our neurology adapts to it. Number one, make sure your atlas is clear. Make sure your husband or wife's atlas is clear. Make sure all your children are clear. This is going to help you process without static from your brain and your cells to any stress or emotions coming at you. Things that are changing your vibration from within. It's going to increase your vibration so you resonate above it, and it's going to help you adapt better. And then when something comes at you, what's your story? What's your perception of that? A lot of times we get people coming in and they say, well, I'm depressed. I'm a depressed person. Okay, why? And you find out that maybe their father died 10 years ago, or they're just not happy with what their life is doing. So that label of depression just brings down your vibration. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm not happy at the moment, but I'm going to create happiness. What do I want? What effort am I going to put into my day to say, what do I want? Do we have it in writing on a yellow legal pad of exactly what you want your life to look like. And now here's the deal. You can't be like, well, I want to be a millionaire, and then just leave it there. You want to be a millionaire, you got to work. You got to have a job that's bringing in some money, and you know how to save it, so you're not spending it, and you'll be a millionaire. But we hear all the stories about people that are millionaires, multimillionaires, that are not happy. They're sad. They're not vibrating at a high level. They're disconnected. They bury themselves in alcohol and drugs to just disconnect from this world so they could feel more alive. So it's more than just being a millionaire or making money. Those are great goals. You know what? The more money you make, the more people you could help. How cool would it be that you could turn around to a single mom going through a tough time and pay off her mortgage, and she doesn't even know it was you that did it? Or you have a child that's having trouble, wants to play lacrosse in town and can't afford the equipment, and you drop a check, and that kid can play lacrosse, and they don't even know who did it. You're not attached to it. It's not out of ego. You're not looking for a medal. You just do it because it's the right thing spiritually to do for somebody else. But it all comes down to, are we purely happy from within? Are we healthy? Are we vibrant? Is our energy through the roof? I'm sure everyone listening to this right now, if you were to think about what you do with your smartphone at night, you plug it in. Why? Because you want it to have full power in the mornings. When you wake up and you check Facebook, Instagram, emails, all the texts you're getting, all those things, you want that phone to be alive. If you don't plug it in and that thing is waking up and you're at 1%, you're going to be pretty pissed off. You're going to be upset because this phone's going to be disconnected and your routine is shut off. Well, how about we plug it in our nervous system, our brain and body and our spirit to what it's meant to be so it has pure power? What are you plugging into? If I were to ask you, what's your Atlas listing? Do you know what that means? And the answer is probably no, with 80% of society, which is why we're one of the sickest nations in the world, which is why we consume over 80% of the psychiatric drugs, because emotionally we're disconnected as a country in the world, which is why kids are pumping inhalers so they could just run on the athletic field because they can't breathe, because they're disconnected, which is why people are burying themselves in alcohol so they could just shut off their brain from their emotions and the static taking place because we're disconnected, we're not living clear, and it's time to wake up, humans, and live clear. And if we follow some natural, universal, intelligent principles and create a system in our life that's sustainable, enjoyable, your life will change. Research has showed that people that live clear live abundant, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. You're able to make better decisions, and you're able to hear that voice from within on a higher level, and magic happens. Absolute magic happens. And that's what I want for every human that I could come in contact with. And the point of us doing this podcast and putting the energy out there, as we've seen with the book, there's people whose lives have been transformed from this message that we've never stood in front of and we've never met. So if this resonates with you, please share it. At this point, I have no idea how this thing works, how you put it out there, where it's going, other than people click a share button and share it with people you care about. And if you don't live in Connecticut, connect with me. Contact me. You could go to our @Dr. Steve Judson page on Facebook and message me where you are, and we'll find you someone to help lead your family and guide your family. Step number one is find them a pure principle chiropractor that's checking your family's spine on a regular basis and making sure their atlas is clear. That has to happen. You may be nervous or think, I don't believe in this right now, but if you trust the process, talk to me in 6 months and tell me how your family's life has changed. It's simple. One of my greatest mentors, Dr. Sid Williams, used to preach in front of 3,000 people with a set of keys in his hand. And he would tell them, if I drop these keys, what's going to happen? And the obvious answer is they're going to fall. Why? Because there's this thing called gravity. It's a natural universal law. So no matter what you do, you let go of those keys, they're falling, whether you like it or not. Doesn't matter what you believe, what you fear, or what you think. And what your educated mind is telling your innate brain, those keys are going to fall. And if we could get you into the hands of a nice, principled chiropractor that could clear your atlas, your baby's atlas, your loved one's atlas, your wife or husband, you watch the transformation that takes place in 6 months. Our biggest dilemma comes down to sometimes what that chiropractic office looks like, and we could help you with that. Because we know the results that have to be happening, but we also know the life that doctor must be living, the energy they must have put into this work, and the space they have to be in when they put their hands on your body to connect you from above down, inside out. That's our mission, is to wake up this country to the universal principles that God created you, self-healing, self-regulating. You just got to take care of it properly and absolutely adore the life you have and honor the space you live in and watch what happens. If you haven't done so already, go buy Wake Up Humans on Amazon. I'm collecting the money for my children's college, so I greatly appreciate it for all of you that have already done it. But the bigger message, honestly, with all joking aside, is the message that's in there. And I know personally how my family's life would have been completely different, 100% different, if we knew this principle or heard about the principle or even had the chance to make a decision for not just my brother Ronnie, but the entire family to get their Atlas clear. And I know through evidence-based research, and my evidence is this, families that were connecting to this principle of living clear, their lives become amazing. It becomes better than when they first walked in our doors. The results speak for themselves. Thousands upon thousands of people getting their Atlas checked, detected for subluxation, which is that vertebra slipping out of alignment, putting pressure on the brainstem, interfering with over 450 million nerve fibers, cutting out communication from brain cell to tissue cell, which is how your body functions from within. And when we found that and corrected it, I'll tell you right now, I have doctor in front of my name, but I'm not smart enough to do what their body did. I know if I'm after that first adjustment, my job is to, one, do they need another adjustment? Do I have the procedures in place to check that Atlas to make sure if it's in place or out of place? And the wherewithal to meet that patient where they're at, gently go in there and adjust them if they need it so they're comfortable, they're relaxed, and trust is there. And that's what we need. That's what we need, people, for your families to live and resonate at a higher level. And you may say, I don't believe you, whatever, I get it. But here's my challenge. Try it. Try it for 6 months. If you got that husband at home that are saying, no, I'm good. The end of that sentence, semicolon, is right now. I'm good right now. You don't know how you're waking up tomorrow. You don't know how you're waking up in 6 months. Things that are brewing deep inside of those cells that if your neurology was fully connected would just die off and be detected and fixed, that are not being corrected because you're subluxated and your brain cannot communicate to that tissue cell. And it breeds a home for illness and sickness to make a home and live. I'm okay right now. In a past podcast, we talked about the ice becoming thin, and it starts to crack and then falls through. We can't base health off on how we feel. Sometimes you start opening up the neurology and you start to feel more, which sometimes isn't pleasant. And that's the job of the doctor, is to coach you through that, help you through it, and allow the body to go through the healing process. The story I like to share with our patients is if you go out and eat bad fish one night and you go home, you get a fever, you feel nauseous, and you throw up. That's your body innately getting rid of the junk, the toxins. Your body's bred to survive, to adapt. And it creates these things, whether it be diarrhea, throwing up, a fever, to kill off the bad stuff so your body doesn't keep that inside and make tissue cells out of it, which then makes sick cells. But if you've been trained as a child to shut symptoms down, to drug your body so you don't feel it and suppress itself, and you go home and you take some stuff to block you from getting a fever and block you from throwing up, and now that toxic food stays within you, and your body over the next 2 weeks needs to use that chemical to make a liver, kidney, heart, who knows? Is that good or bad? So we got to connect to this principle that our body is smart. It knows what it's doing innately. We just have to give it the freedom to do so and make better decisions. And we also have to come to the realization that people need to hear this message and overcome their story and fear of connecting to this thing. And when they do, life will be a lot better. Have a blessed day. We love and appreciate you.
You've been listening to Wake Up Humans with Steve Judson. To get Steve's books, Wake Up Humans and Atlas Adjusted, just visit Amazon. The Wake Up Humans podcast is a copyright of Steve Judson. Be sure to look up other episodes. Wake Up Humans will educate, inspire, and bring you clarity. Thanks for listening to Wake Up Humans with Steve Judson. Visit JudsonChiropractic.com.